Thank you very much.
Just on that, Prime Minister, every homeless child means a child missing school, a child missing out on a vital and welcome breakfast club that your government have committed to, a child or adult missing out on those extra hospital appointments because they don't have a safe and secure home to go to. We are seeing councils at breaking point because of the additional money spent on temporary accommodations. A number of councils declaring bankrupt because of temporary accommodation. This is not sustainable. And I come back to some of the measures that have been taken by the government. So just to ask, do you feel, Prime Minister, then, that we do need to have an urgent reset in local government funding to look at these long-term solutions and key pressures facing councils up and down the country?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, let me say we have put £1 billion into homelessness. That is a huge amount, more than any government's put in for a very, very long time, for precisely the reasons that have been identified by this committee. So there's an absolute commitment on homelessness, and the money was put there in the budget and the spending review to make good on the commitment on homelessness. On the wider question of local authority funding, yes, I do think it needs a review. I've long thought it needs a review, amongst other things. We need multi-year settlements. There are no end of local authorities that say to me, because it's a year-on-year allocation of money, we can't use the money as effectively as we might otherwise be able to do. There are, I don't know how many local authorities who say to me, until you fix, as we are now doing, the no-fault eviction problem, you'll have a homelessness problem, and the bill will be picked up by local authorities. That's why we brought in the provisions to get rid of no-fault evictions. So I absolutely agree with you. This needs review, it needs change. We've started the process of change, and they would be, as it were, the top contenders that, for me, of what we're getting on with to bring about a material change as quickly as we can. Okay,
that's good. So it'll be good to know when we'll expect to see some of those changes and the extra investment, and if it's something that...
Well, the investment in homelessness has gone in already. I mean, the money's been made available.
When do you expect to see a change?
Well, as soon as possible. I've got the Deputy Prime Minister project managing this. We're looking across the numbers, we're getting the money to where it needs to be, but the financial commitment and the political commitment are in place, and the Deputy Prime Minister is pretty focused. I mean, it matters hugely to her, it matters hugely to me, and therefore we're driving it through central government.
Well, I talked earlier about your vision in 3 years. I mean, you're saying in 3 years, in the next year, you'll see a difference. When do you think we'll see the actual difference on the ground? Because
in homelessness or living standards more generally?
Well, on this particular issue, on housing and home and temporary accommodation.
Oh, the money going into temporary accommodation, I want to see having immediate effect. In other words, more accommodation available. Now, obviously, it'll take some time to get it into place. But
where is this accommodation going to come from?
This isn't a delayed project. Well, in terms of what could be built, what can be arranged, what can be taken by councils and repurposed is a central focus of what we're doing. But I'm impatient for this change to be driven through. There's no desire on government for this to take any longer than it needs to take to be done effectively and properly.
It's just that we've got Home Office bidding for homes for asylum seekers. We've got councils bidding for homes for homeless for the same properties.
Everyone's
driving up the price, driving up the cost.
I know, which is why I'm so furious at the last government for leaving tens of thousands of asylum seekers unprocessed with nowhere to live other than accommodation paid for by the taxpayer.
Are you planning to build homes or put people into...
Well, we have to do a number of things. We do have to build, of course.
But that won't happen in the next year.
We have to take over other accommodation. We have to drive down the asylum lists. There is no
just a big pinpoint before. What other accommodation precisely are you planning to take over to provide temporary accommodation for families?
Oh, there's lots of housing in many local authorities that can be used, and we're identifying where it can be used. But I mean, look.
Can you give us? Have you got any examples you can give us?
No, but I'll write in and give you details.
Because I could say certainly in a number of our local authorities, really picking up from around the table, there isn't a lot of spare housing available. If there were, councils would be able to be dealing with it by now.
Well, exactly, which is why leaving a huge tens of thousands of unprocessed asylum seekers that need to be housed is a huge problem for
you'll be putting the homeless families into those hotels?
No. We're looking at what accommodation is available, and I'll make sure that we send a detailed letter.
Okay, well, we certainly look forward to receiving that detailed note. Councils will be breathless waiting for it.